Today we have Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 1. This is the night, and we see that Banquo is going into the yard. He is talking to his son. So let's see. Enter Banquo and Fleance bearing a torch before him. Banquo, how goes the night, boy? Fleance, the moon is down. I have not heard the clock. So they are talking, and we know that it is a very dark night. First, Ian's is saying that the moon is down. I cannot hear the clock. It's very dark, Banco. And she goes down at 12. So here the moon is personified. The moon is referred to as she. This is to tell us that the night is so dark that any activity done, even the lights of the heaven, is not going to shine on it. Fleance, I take it is later, sir. So he says, I believe it is quite late in the night, sir. Banco, hold, take my sword. For some reason, he is giving his sword to his son. He is, looking around. It seems to be a picture or a scene where the father and son are having a conversation in order to tell the audience how dark and deadly the night is. This is a manner of using nature to show the state of man's mind or the evil occurrences. Nature itself is becoming dark and gloomy and moody according to the situation that is going to happen. For Duncan is going to be killed, the very universe along, as a whole macrocosm is presenting itself as dark and gloomy. And Banco then gives his sword to his son for a moment. This is also to show us the benevolent father, the good father, versus the tyrant or the tyrannical father figure in Macbeth. There's husbandry in heaven, their candles are all out. Take thee that too. So Banco is remarking there is husbandry in heaven, which is to say that even heaven is thrifty with their light. When heaven is being miserly with the light, all their candles are out, no stars or the moon is shining. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. So here Banco is telling us that he feels very uneasy. He is not able to sleep, even though he is very tired. It is as if there are some thoughts that is keeping him up. We could also doubt that there is a chance that Banco too is thinking of the evil things that the witches have told him. Could it be that he is also slightly tempted? Is he also dwelling on evil thoughts? Or could it be that he has a premonition that something evil is about to happen? But this is the difference between Banco and Macbeth or the Macbeths, that when Lady Macbeth feels that there is something evil, she is asking the supernatural powers to unsex her, and she is calling on the evil powers to give them the power to do something evil. At the same time, Banco, when he sees that he is in a very fitful condition, that he is unable to sleep, he calls on merciful powers and says, merciful powers, give me the strength, give me that calmness and peace. He is asking the heavens to be merciful to him. So here we see this is all a preface to what is going to happen. And there is always the question of Macbeth's character, which comes for the exam. And I feel that Banco is his better self. Banco is placed as a foil to show what Macbeth could have been if he were loyal. Enter Macbeth and a servant with a torch. Who's there? Macbeth, a friend. Banco, what, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed, he hath been in unusual pleasure, and set forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal. by the name of most kind hostess and shut up in measureless content. So this is Banco is asking him, "You're not at rest, sir, after this huge feast. The king is so pleased with you. He's gone to take rest. He has, shut himself up with such content. He's a very content man today, that you have given this feast and you have treated him with such utmost hospitality. He's given a great diamond to your wife, and he commends her as the most graceful hostess. So again he has sent more treasures to your officers. Macbeth, being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought. So I have only got a last minute's notice. I was unprepared. Being unprepared, we could only give the best we could. We did, but this is all we could give. This is all the sort of small talk that all of us, even now in our life, have to indulge in, whether we like it or not. So these are all pleasantries that are going back and forth. And we see that in this game of chess, which one plays as pleasantries, there is a lot of judging going on, looking around. Macbeth wants to be sure that nobody else is suspicious. So he is going to be very pleasant outwardly. Banco, all's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you, they have showed some truth. So Banco is very openly, very frankly telling Macbeth that I dreamt of those three witches. And you know what? Some of their equivocations have come true, as in your case, you have become the Thane of Cawdor. So there has been some truth towards you. So Banco is showing that he is thinking about it and he is not ashamed of it. He is showing that they have cast certain doubts in his mind. Macbeth immediately says, "I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time." Macbeth says that no, I am not thinking about them, but of course, if you are thinking and we do have spare time, I would like to we could discuss the matter between us. So here there is again a hint where Macbeth is trying to assess how far how far is he corruptible? Is he the sort of man who can be taken in on Macbeth's idea? He needs to know what is lying under his mind, what is going on in his mind. So he tries to put it in a very casual manner. If you are also up to it, let's discuss it. Banco, at your kindest leisure. Banco replies politely, "Yes, when you are free, we will." Macbeth, "If you shall cleave to my consent when it shall make honor for you." So this is a very, I would call it a rather broad hint. That is to say, if you will cleave to my consent, if you are going to look at the matter in a similar manner to me, it could mean that you could be my ally, or you could shut your eyes to what I'm going to do. If you place yourself in such a way that you pose no danger to me, then it will be good for you also. It shall make honor for you. So Macbeth is really, you can say, putting his feet into boards. He's trying to assess what Banco is thinking. Banco, so I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counselled. So, what is it here? The word it signifies a very important word. Let's replace it. Let's keep honor here. So I lose none in seeking to augment honor, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counselled. So Banco is saying that whatever you say, if it is not asking me to disown my honor, my allegiance to Scotland and my king, then I shall accept it very readily. So, in one line, Banco has made himself clear that he will not be a party to anything that is going to ask him to sacrifice his honor. So the honor, this is of supreme importance. So in this one dialogue, he has made it clear to Macbeth that he is ready to do anything other than treason or anything dishonorable. So we see that contrast while Macbeth, in order to prove himself the real man, is showing these qualities of a beast in order to please his wife, and he is becoming a tyrant in the process. While Banco knows what a real man is and is sticking to his honor. So they are, two parallel characters. We can say that he is the other half of Macbeth, the self which, if it is kept pure, that is Macbeth's good self, we could say. Banco thanks Macbeth, good repose the while. He's telling him good night. Banco thanks her the like to you. So both exit from the scene. Macbeth, go bid thy mistress when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell, get thee to bed. So now Macbeth tells the servant, when my drink for the night is ready, let me know it, and you can tell your mistress that, and you may please go from here. So this is a signal for Lady Macbeth that yes, the time is coming. I have cleared everyone from here. Both of them are looking out that there should be no witnesses. They're going to get the chamberlains drunk and they're going to stab their king. So now Macbeth, we see here that Macbeth is, his mind is going to a stage where he's going to see hallucinations. And all these lines show us, is Macbeth really up to the task that he has signed up for? Is he strong enough? Or perhaps is he too good for it? Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee, I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation? So he sees a dagger, a live dagger before him. The dagger seems to be leading him towards Duncan's bedchamber, and dagger is telling him, come hither. And Macbeth asks, are you only for my sight? Or can I feel you? Can I hold it? Are you just something that my oppressed brain is bringing forth? Or are you a real dagger? So, are you a false creation? Proceeding from the heat oppressed brain, I see thee yet in form as palpable as this which now I draw. So, like the dagger that I carry around, I feel that you, this dagger before my eyes, is that palpable, that solid. This is slowly showing us that Macbeth is indeed hallucinating, perhaps losing his mind. He's not very stable. He's not going forth in a, we could say that he is not a complete psychopath. He is rather a man being drawn to villainy, a villainy which he does not want to embrace, but his own weakness is making him do this. As this which now I draw, thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use, mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else with all the rest I see thee still. And on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. Suddenly I see that the dagger is covered with blood and blood is just gushing out. What is it that I see? You need to ask the question, is Macbeth preparing to kill just the king and all is well after that? Or is he going to kill that which is good in him too? That which is benevolent in him. In this stroke, will Macbeth kill himself? And he says, mine eyes are made the fools of all other senses because I can clearly see this dagger gushing blood. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now over the one half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Suddenly he feels that nature itself is weeping. The darkness, the gloominess, the murkiness. Nature is often used in Shakespeare to show the situation and also the mind of the protagonists. So here he says that the very nature seems to be disturbed at the thought of somebody so innocent being killed. The curtained sleep, witchcraft celebrates, pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder alarmed by his sentinel the wolf, whose howl his watch, thus with his stealthy pace. So Hecate is the Roman goddess. She was once considered the goddess of nature and later was worshipped as the goddess of the forests, of the witches. And she is a goddess with three, you can see the three faces, the three bodies. And she is the Greek Roman goddess to whom the witches offer their witchcraft, their black magic. All these offerings are given to Hecate, and she is being worshipped on this night. The witches are going to be supremely pleased. This is surely demonic black magic at its worst that is happening here. And the sentinel of this murder, this evil, is the wolf is howling. With Tarquin's ravishing strides, Tarquin is the Roman ruler. Tarquin Sextus, he is the Roman character who outraged, who has ravished the graceful, beautiful Lucretia. And just as he ravishes her honor, Duncan here is to be killed, and Macbeth is to kill his own honor here. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk for fear, thy very stones prate of my whereabout. So these stones, these very steps on which I walk towards this bedchamber, Macbeth asks these very stones, do not hear me, do not see me, my surroundings. Let me walk such that the very earth does not know that I am walking on it, because lest it prate is to talk. He does not want even those steps, those stone steps, to whisper that Macbeth was here, that he was going this way to kill his king. And take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I tread, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell. So I hear the bell ringing. I hear the signal. The chamberlains are drunk. The very universe seems to be upset. I am going to kill the king, and I want these very walls to not hear me. So the bell, the lines, the bell tolls. For whom does it toll? For whom does it ring? It is for Duncan. And Macbeth says, I am sending you to heaven or hell as you deserve, or wherever you shall end up. Thank you.